I'm sure many of our attendees have recently launched CC, and what would be the first steps, and what features would you suggest for them to start with that helped most on the implementation? We can start with Mark.
Well, the first thing that helped tremendously, in my view, was the support from your staff, Condo Control Central staff, just in the setup and behind the scenes preparation before we launched. And that really boiled down to, after all of the work we did that I mentioned about trying to get to one source of data, the fact that we were able to get it all onto a spreadsheet in a format that Condo Control provided to us, but get everything into a spreadsheet and have it imported so that all of the records were set up in advance, all of the data we needed, all of the ownership, the unit data was all set and ready to go on the launch day. And the fact that we were able to do a soft launch with just a few folks trying it before we announced it to everyone. So when it finally went live, quote unquote, it was a smooth implementation. People were gratified to see all the data there. So the upfront preparation was very well managed and well worth it.
Perfect. Thank you. So pass it on to Michael.
Yeah. What we found to work very well is, before launching it, really pre-populating with a lot of data. There's only one, I guess, guaranteed time that everyone's going to log in and look at it, and that's right when you're first launching it. Everyone's curious what it is. So by having the documents folders full and having lots of information there that they could access, by building out a frequently asked questions section. Now, it doesn't have to be 50 questions. You might get there eventually, but having at least the 5 or 10 most commonly asked questions. So if you have those built out, the first time the owners log on and they start looking around, they notice documents on there. They actually notice things that maybe they've never seen before, or things that they didn't know they could have access to. So that really helps with the adoption, just being able to have some documents on there. So that's the one I'll mention for now. We'll get into some more later.
Perfect. Thank you, Michael. And to elaborate a bit more on that, so what Michael is referring to on the service requests, the Condo Control feature offers the functionality to add frequently asked questions, macros for pre-populated answers. You can even add a knowledge base and include articles. If you're wondering how to implement this, then please reach out to your customer success manager. So now,
just to expand that a little bit more on Michael's point as well as Mark's point, the sort of, from my perspective, if I was a resident of any of the communities, I would ask the questions, what's in for me? I go in once and there's literally nothing there. I'll never come back, right? So it's like, you want to sort of attract your audience with documents. You want to make sure that they can do self-serve stuff. You want to make sure that they have the ability to put requests, but you have to have a driver, right? Like if people are used to the paper and sort of they give a call to management and they're like, listen, I want to search the request. If you don't redirect them to do so for what you're trying to accomplish, the sort of, adoption and increase will take a little bit longer, but maybe, Mark and Michael can sort of comment on that sort of drive for success on that.
Yeah, that's something we found to be very useful. And the insight here is you can't run dual systems. You can't do it both in paper or maybe by email and through Condo Control, because then there's no incentive to change your previous method of doing it. So what you have to educate your team and educate your board members and your owners is that Condo Control is the new way of submitting a work order. So if someone sends you an email or someone catches you in the hallway saying, hey, I have this and this, you have to politely direct them to Condo Control and please file it there. And I always give it kind of the push, and that's how we can get to it the fastest, right? If you tell me, I might write it down, I might bring it into the office, right? It might get lost somewhere. But if you put it on Condo Control, it's logged on there. So yeah, manage only one system, train your team that everything runs through one system. And I even recommend to the team to build out sample replies. If an owner emails them and says, hey, I have a service request, they just paste in a sample reply that says something like this. Hi, thank you so much. Please file that through Condo Control. This is the best and easiest way of making sure it's addressed quickly. Here's a link, right? And we just have that standard answer that we give to anyone. As soon as they request something, just here you go. And it just pushes everyone onto Condo Control.
On the theme of having centralized data and self-service, one of the other features that we found helped immediately and does every day from then on was the library feature, being able to put the condo documents in one location that all the owners knew where they were. Because when you're in a condo, owners constantly have a need to access the bylaws. In Florida, we have flood insurance documents that need to be provided every time someone gets new insurance, wind mitigation because of the hurricane season and so forth. And it used to be that everyone had to walk down to the office, interrupt the office manager, get a paper copy and so forth. And especially difficult because a lot of the owners, again, are off-site or in other states much of the year. Having it all in one library that everyone knows where it is and they can go get it themselves just has been very helpful.